Y'all, greetings, 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 great rise and beautiful beings. I am still chinky-eyed, tipsy. I ain't promote my drunkenness last night. I did not. People say don't deal with them spirits, but I'm animated, right? We're all animated to some degree. See this? These are Temu cameras. They have a $12 version and a super duper heavy duty $15 version. And I programmed one because they're going out on my floodlights. 360 cameras. I programmed one. I'm thinking I could program it on a lamp in the house and then just take it out there and plug and play. Because my other cameras, if I unplug them and plug it back up, it connect directly back to the Wi-Fi. Don't buy this camera. This is a haggle. Because I bought 4 of them. Go to 4 corners. And, you got to buy the SD card to go in there like all my other cameras. And I'm like, yo, I activated the camera in the house so I wouldn't have to stand on a fucking 20-foot ladder to activate it on the ladder. I don't want to fall on the ground or get confused or boggled. But don't buy these cameras. Something with the connectivity, it wants you to connect to your Wi-Fi. Then it wants you to connect to the camera's Wi-Fi. Now, hold up now. All I'm supposed to do is download the app and connect the Wi-Fi to the app. And then put the QR code in front of it. And this camera is supposed to connect to that app. I got to be able to take my phone with me thousands of miles away from the house. So that ain't adding up. None of my other cameras do that. You connect the Wi-Fi to the app, and that's it. You put the QR code in front of the camera, boom. Camera connected to your Wi-Fi. These, don't buy these. And then you got to mail it back or something. Like, I ain't mailing them back. I'm going to figure it out. But I ain't never had so much technical problems with these motherfuckers today in my life. But they nice, though. And then this poor little lamp, it takes like 30 seconds for this thing to get a actual power to start rotating and saying, okay, activate me or something, I don't know what I'm dealing with. Okay. What did I come to y'all about today? And don't mind the critters. Way ahead of time. Let me see. Oh, that looks weird. I was looking at something. Well, anyway. I wanted to talk about something that people probably didn't realize within the spiritual community. The pandemic really helped us out. I'm not talking about financially. Like, people that said, "Ooh, the pandemic saved the day." The little hot little $1,400 or $700, whatever they got. I'm like, yo, in the spiritual community, the pandemic helped us out. Do you know how many fake fucking frauds? When people come to me for tarot readings, what's the top 2 things they want to know about? They want to know about money and love. Bitch, first you need healing and health. Excuse my French. RevereSkye, don't say that. The first thing they come to me about is money and love. Have you detoxed? Have you cleansed? Have you meditated? Are your prayers only based on begging? Have you showed any sign of thanks, gratitude? You can't even show thanks or gratitude because you're not living in a nurturing situation. When you watch that seedling go from a seed, from soil to seed to sprout to seedling to little plant to blooms, blossoms, when you water that plant, you know who God is. But when you get something that's manufactured in a box, processed. You don't know where it come from. You can't read none of the ingredients. You so disconnected from God. You don't know your fucking head from your fucking asshole. How did the pandemic help spiritual people? It got rid of the frauds. All the people that bought candles. Pandemic was hectic. It almost made me believe the energy was gone. The force. The force was gone. Like how we got plagued instantaneously through pollution, water, frequency. I knew then, like, the force had to fall back and regroup, because the force will always be with you, but you have to harness it. So when I think about this pandemic and I think about the people that don't do their rituals no more, it just got rid of the fraud. Like, thank you. You're not just doing magic rituals for money. You're not just doing magic rituals for a companion or love. Like, people tell me all the time, you should do magic for this. You should do magic for that. For what? For what? I know they doing magic on us. I know they doing subliminal training on us. I know they doing rituals on us. I know they put those billboards and that advertisement up there to deviate the man off his path. I know this. And I know I could do magic, but in the trenches of it all, that man got to get out the trenches on his own. Unless I'm going to use him as a tool. Straight up, let's be real. If I'm going to use you as a tool, yeah, I'm going to use my supernatural powers. Okay? But if I need the equivalence of me, which that would never be because we're two total different genders, we house and utilize energy different. So if I need the smitten image of me, the same mind concept as me, he gonna have to get it on his own. He got to come out the trenches. Why would you polish a person up psychologically, physically, financially, just for them to go be subliminally programmed to the billboards, to the illusion? The pandemic really helped us out. People couldn't buy food, the shelves was cleared, and they still not growing food. People was doing rituals, burning incense. Now they don't even know what the fuck that is. The pandemic really cleaned house. And it's going to clean house again. And it's going to clean house again. We are in full purge mode. Believe that. It purged out the industry, the Hollywood industry. It purged out the medical industry. It purged out... Ooh, somebody just sent me a picture. It purged out the neighborhoods. And believe it or not, them people are still not growing food. It changed the brain frequency. People equilibrium off. People balance off. People blood thicker than normal, allegedly. People got side effects that they didn't have before that. Think about it. Imagine how many false flaggers it got rid of. Especially from a spiritual mindset. especially from a divine order, it got rid of a lot of people, y'all. A lot of pretenders. You understand what I'm saying? It's a few out there. I need to cut that air off. I told you, ever since the pandemic, you breathe cold air and your body is actually cool, you'll get irritated. So, but when your body hot and you breathe cool air, your body is able to counterbalance that conditioning, okay? But that ceiling fan on. So, I'm going to leave it there. Just know, even though the pandemic was volatile, it actually helped us remember to stay focused, stay diligent, stay aware, stay observant, stay spiritual, stay connected, stay grounded. Stay in a conscious oneness with your nurturer. And that's land, water, ethereal, air, spirit. Okay? It removed so many pretenders. It removed, you know how you pray to God, you pray to Jesus every day, you never see a sign. Just like people do magic and work with spirits and work with their higher self. People that meditate tap into their inner self. Tap into their inner conscious. Connect and phone home to their soul, their source. But imagine, you just can't get a response. You can't get any feedback. You quit. You give up. You understand? Imagine all these people that wanted an instant response from the magic, wanted an instant response from the spirituality. Oh, I'm gonna be both. Oh, I wanted an instant response from me going to eat that soy meat, that vegan plant protein that looks like sausage. Have y'all noticed something? I've eaten vegan hot dogs and vegan hamburgers and stuff. But when do you see me shoving that shit down your throat? When have you ever seen that as a main course meal? When have you seen me introduce street food to y'all? I got past videos with it, but when have you seen me introduce that man-made product to you as a lifestyle? You don't see it on my plate. Why do I need something that look like meat? Hell, I'm gonna go eat the meat. Matter of fact, give me the fucking knife or the bow and arrow. I'm gonna slaughter it myself. Ain't no pretending. I don't have to go over there and cook collard greens and cabbage and say, ooh, this tastes better if I add this to it. Make it taste like meat. Do you think I actually have to use chicken bouillon and butter in every meal? Because I'm addicted to a sensory that deals with animals? No. Do you think, let me tell you what happened to me when I became vegan vegetarian in Texas before I went to California. I had blotches, big burning, now that's an ant bite, but I had big burning blotches all over my body. I was ketoacidosis, still ketoacidosis. That's right. I literally drink probably more alkaline water than most. I have to eat fruits and vegetables or else I will fall apart. Straight up. I don't know what I would do without fruits and vegetables. It's a sin for me not to eat them. I had blotches all over my body. The acid had came to the surface. You know how you make a mistake and hit something hot, or you get a carpet burn and it leaves like that dry patch? I had blotches everywhere. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I think during that time Ebola had came out in 20 I've been driving truck about 2014, 2015, Ebola had came out. And I went to the doctor saying, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?" There was so much acid in my body. I bled a whole year. A whole year. I thought I was dying. The doctors couldn't tell me nothing. I had to figure it out on my own. I had to, and bless his soul, at that time he only had 300,000 subscribers. He had 2 million subscribers now. That man saved my life. I ain't gonna say his name. I should say his name, but I'm not. Because he a fucking matrix. Okay? He a beautiful matrix, but he a fucking matrix. I cleansed my body out. When I was in the hospital, they didn't have me on a saline drip. They had me on sugar water. My blood sugar level broke the scales, broke the meter. They said when we get an error, that means your sugar level is over 1,200. How did you get in here, ma'am? How did you get here? I said, I drove. I walked in here. I wasn't feeling good, so I came. He said, you wasn't feeling good. I said, no, I don't feel right. He said, ma'am, you should be dead in a coma. How did you get in here? After I sat in there 3 days, they put me on the sugar water. I said, ma'am, do you still have to keep pricking me and put me on this sugar water? So they tried. I'm very convinced and I'm very persuasive. So they literally put me on saline water. And I went in hypoglycemia. They put me on the sugar water because they had to lower my sugar gradually. Because if they didn't, it would put fluid on my brain. They came in there. They came in the room. They said, hey, you need to wake up now. You need to wake up. I said, I'm sleepy. I can't get up. That lady pricked me, checked my sugar. She said, your sugar is 50. Like 50 or 60. So they came back in there and hit me with that sugar water again. This is when I chose life or death. This is when I chose eat to live or live to eat. I'm plus size, but I could get all this water off me. I just don't exercise and sweat, but I could get this shit up off me. The nutritionist, they said, we're going to have you speak to a nutritionist. They gave me insulin because they didn't know if my pancreas worked or not. The insulin was too strong. So that means my pancreas still was producing insulin. They gave me the metformin pill. I had to pop them in half because I would be asleep. I couldn't get out of bed. They told me, ma'am, the reason why you was eating like that, because your sugar gets so low, your pancreas is producing so much insulin that your sugar low. So I had to get away from bleached flour, sugar, pasta, because rice, because I love Chinese food. I had to get away from it. I had to quit drinking sweet tea because when I wake up in the morning, I couldn't get up. I was hypoglycemia. My sugar would be very low. So I finally ate myself till my pancreas finally couldn't keep up with the sugar consumption. And I started gaining weight. Once you become two people, your pancreas only make enough insulin for one body. When your pancreas has to make enough insulin for 2 and 3 bodies, you're having problems. So, the nutritionist came in there and she said, you still can eat hamburgers and stuff. You just need to take this pill. I said, ma'am, I don't want to take these pills. And I wasn't even conscious and aware, really. I said, I don't want to take these pills. You mean to tell me I could go eat the stuff and then take the pill and it drop my sugar? I said, how do I reverse it? How do I stop it? I don't want to eat nothing that raises my sugar like that, right? I'm not diabetic. My A1C is fine. Okay? When you go do your physical, they do a glucose test in your urine. They don't, my diabetic levels be fine. So I said, ma'am, you're a nutritionist. And you're telling me the same food that got me in here, you're telling me to eat it in moderation and I'll be fine. But let's get back to the subject. I chose to eat to live. Eat to live and in moderation and live a exercise. That's what I need to start doing now. Exercise, fluids, water. I always did water. I never did soda. I'll do the ginger ale, a Mountain Dew, and if I have to drive overnight, but it's not a continuous thing. The Mountain Dew won't even work the next night. If you're running hard and you drink it the first night and then you think you could do it again, it ain't gonna work. Mountain Dew don't even work no more. You have to, that's a once a month, 4 times a year thing. There's nothing you can do every day. Okay. So I got a doctor in Texas and she couldn't tell me what the blotches was. I was cleaning my body out. This is what I'm trying to get you to see, the real subject. You can go vegan and you can have all types of side effects because your body is purging. So imagine you doing spiritual work, because that's what it's about. The pandemic got rid of the false flaggers, right? You could be doing spiritual work and it ain't to your liking. You may get signs and symbols, and you may get you may find shiny coins on the ground. You may look up on $100 here and there. You may get a few sales here and there. Whatever you're trying to do, you may come up on the relationship you want, but it ain't the real one. You know, it's trial and error. You have to calibrate yourself with the land spirits, the celestial clock. Everything around you has to be in order and alignment. Because if you're going down and this person going up, they're looking at you like your baggage, and vice versa. When I was detoxing and I had all them blotches all over me, dry patches, my mama said, that looked like a surface burn. That looked like acid. She literally told me, she had no clue I was ketoacidosis. She said, them look like acid blotches. Like a person that drinks soda or something. Do you know a person won't eat an apple? Ooh, that sent me to the bathroom. They won't eat a plum. Ooh, that sent me to the bathroom. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. How your skin so pretty and you don't want to go to the bathroom? You know what that is? When that shit don't come out your skin, I'll tell you what happened. It builds up in you and you start getting stressed. Then it come into a cyst, it come into a tumor, it come into cancer. So when you see folks around here blotchy and spotty, they detoxing. Leave them alone. You ain't supposed to be with them. They healing. Internally healing, and it's coming outward. But the key is you cannot turn away from things because you're not satisfied. That's like you growing an orchard. Yeah, your trees look raggedy now. Your flower beds and stuff keep having more weeds. But if you every month and every year you keep removing them weeds and you get them weeds out before them weeds turn into seeds, you're good. But if you're like me, you'll utilize the weeds. You'll identify the weeds. You'll understand the medicinal properties. You'll understand if that weed is obnoxious or a nuisance, or does it benefit the vessel? Does it benefit the temple? Does it help me to connect to source? So, yes, the pandemic really removed some obnoxious weeds, especially in the spiritual realm. Imagine, I got tired of taking people money because all they wanted was love and money. None of them wanted healing. A woman came to me with fibroids. She started taking the herb. Oh, I cramped so bad. I cramped so bad. And one day I had the bag of herb sitting on the stove and it fell behind the stove. And I ain't gonna go back there and get it. The number one thing Dr. Sabi said was, if you have impurities in your womb, testicles, or whatever, you gotta bleed it out. It has to come out of a hole. It has to come to the surface. If you're taking, allegedly, if you're taking the right herbs and on the right diet, let's say you can't bleed it out. Let's say that the fighting properties of the herbs and your immune system can turn it into a pus and it come out the surface. Simple. I'm not the most perfect person in the world. I'm learning. I'm a student. But I love expressing observation. As you can see, I didn't say what I know. I said I love expressing observation. That's right. I love expressing observation. I could go on and on. All I say is the pandemic helped the ones that are not mentally dead to become more aware, conscious, and more, how can I explain this? More enthused to be self-sustained. Sure thing. Sure motherfucking thing. And remember, all this conversation is allegedly, hypothetically, theoretically. That's my hypothesis. That's my theory. And if you got a problem with it, do better. Lead by example. I feel like we may have lost loved ones. We may have lost innocent bystanders. But in the end, if you believe in Source, if you believe in the Force, if you believe in the almighty power, the darkness that creates the light, you're onto something. If you believe in nature, if you believe in self-sustainability, you are one. You are one. And I'm not talking about this AI and these frequencies. I mean, you still have a tether to nature. You still have a tether to Source. That's right. So there we have it. Unearth Magic. The truth will definitely set you free. And remember, you are a beautiful being. You are a beautiful being. You just have to be activated and reminded. But we won't be here to remind you forever. You got to get on your shit.